Здорово всем. Здорово, 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 здорово. Кирилл, привет. Самец, здорово. Не вся картинка влезла. Вся должна влезть. Не может быть такого, самец. Да я отходил. Перевод будет, но будем стараться по максимуму переводить, вспоминать английский язык и все свои умения. Мад Макс, привет. Через 4 минуты начнется долгожданный стрим. Арт у них вообще просто замечательный. Офигенный арт. Что-то буду переводить. Что-то, к сожалению, не смогу. Они же все-таки на родном разговаривают, а я уже на самом деле отвык от английской речи, несмотря на то, что я раньше учился в английской школе и английский знал. Ну, не то чтобы в идеале, но очень хорошо и разговаривал с иностранцами на английском. Но время с того момента очень много прошло, я не практиковался. И очень многое забыл. И не могу распознавать речь. Поэтому будем по возможности стараться переводить. Да, всегда. Картинки, блин, просто великолепные. Она еще и двигается, видишь? Она то увеличивается, то уменьшается. My English is very уёва. Да. Из Айова. My English is Iowa. English is Iowa. Кстати, ребята, вышел ролик только что, вот буквально перед стримом, минут 5-7 назад, 10. По горцу, там дуэли на горце, поэтому обязательно посмотрите, прокомментируйте, что думаете по этому поводу. И, соответственно, не забывайте про оценку. Лайк или дизлайк, понравилось, не понравилось. Хочешь это на рабочий стол? Ну, блин, кстати, можно что-то подумать насчет рабочего. Но, на самом деле, я бы вместо Аполеона, может быть, чем другое поставил. И вообще, вместо рыцаря я бы викингов хотел. Вот это было бы вообще. Минут 5-10 пятого, да. Без пяти как... Пиздили. Не, никаких самураев, нафиг самураев. Аполеон девочка, да, Аполеон девочка. Я бы сказал, не девочка, а бабища, сука, да, такая прям... Чуть-чуть монитор наклоню. Фантазер называла меня. Что-то там... Я уже не помню, как эта песня переделанная была. Так, вот здесь, короче... чтобы проверить результаты, проверить... Блин, короче, надо авторизоваться, да? Можно, кстати, сталь пофармить. Но я, короче, не буду, наверное, в этот раз делать. Твич дропы, да. Твич дропы. Ну, я, короче, не буду в этот раз. Я потом как-нибудь авторизуюсь. Сейчас уже не буду этого делать. Но следующий стрим я обязательно надропаю себе стали какой-нибудь. Ну, если получится. Халявной стали. Если ничего не будет процента, сегодняшний рандом будет, мягко говоря, в шоке от того, с какой злостью я буду избивать своими кулаками каждого встречного в дуэли. Ну, аккаунт Uplay только привязать. Ну, ладно, давай авторизуемся. Грант. Ну и чё? Ну, пока еще нет. Но я авторизовался, короче. Вроде. Ну чё, понеслась? The Warriors then was pre-recorded on May 28 and was entirely supposed... Не успел прочитать. Так, цента показали. Ну это они просто как бы, да, нарезку сделали за все время. Скай, я на самом деле не знаю. Цент, наверное, вряд ли, кстати, будет. Вряд ли будет. Вы чё там разошлись, блин, самец, Кирилл?
From home this time. We hope you guys are safe. Want to let you guys know that today's Warriors Den for year 4 season 2 Tyranny is actually pre-recorded, but that's not going to stop us from talking from a bunch of great stuff that's going on. Join alongside with me for this great show is of course Clarissa. How are you?
Great show.
I'm doing great. You know, it's been a while since we had our last Warriors Den, so it's really good to be back and talking with the community again, and also of course hanging out with you.
Yeah,
How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm so
Да, даже не в студии, а так, ну домашняя, видимо, карантин же, все, типа самоизоляция.
We revealed that stuff. You got the image that is going to bring up a lot of questions, okay?
А стрим-то записи, походу, да?
They will all be answered in due time, ladies and gentlemen. So that being said, we've got a bunch of guests. We've got so many different elements to talk about that we'll get through. But before that, we want to reward you for being here. And so we want to explain to you a couple of things. So let's start off with Azarus. What can you say about Azarus to the folks at home, Clarissa?
Yeah, so for a reminder for our folks, Azarus is a Twitch extension where you can answer questions based on the show and get credits called Azas, and then you can use those Azas to redeem for honor rewards such as XP boots, scavenger crates, champion passes, etc. So all you need to do is authorize the Azarus extension. There's going to be a red dot on the screen somewhere, and that's where the questions were going to pop up. Then after you get your credits, you can redeem them at forhonorgame.com/redeem. So all you need to do is just pay attention because all the answers is right in the show.
You heard it from Clarissa. You heard it.
Да, кстати, самец, у них там вообще жопа полная.
Of course, Twitch drops that we've got for today's show. Let's get right into that. So one scavenger crate per 30 minutes of accumulated viewing time. That's just a guarantee when you're watching this thing. So then after that, we've got 100K steal that's up for grabs.
Да, соточку нам надо.
So a handful of lucky viewers that will be able to get 100K
What is the name of For Honor season?
Tyranny. So many good things.
Какое название?
You can use that if you get the chance.
Year of recording, да?
Yeah, it's exactly. And we just want to remind those that with the Twitch drops,
recording
the notification will be delayed around 24 hours just for the full processing for Twitch and Ubi. So just be a little patient.
For Honor,
when you win it, you just get it. Yeah.
Вот я Васек чуть не обкакал.
You know what, guys? That's enough of the chit chat, the blah blah.
Tyranny.
Все, business. And to get down to business, for season 2 of Tyranny.
Okay? Of Tyranny.
I'll say it again. Tyranny.
Tyranny, yeah! Hector, ты, я. Здорово, Дэн.
In about 3, 2, 1 seconds. Let's do it now. Let's go. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go, guys.
What do we fight for? Peace?
Эй, я не успел.
Is a false
Ну все, правильный ответ. Отлично. О, Хитакирыч. Тихо! Громче сделать. Так лучше? Блин, ну над артами они вообще красиво, конечно. Вернее, сильно поработали. Вонючка, самец.
We are war.
Дэн, кстати, сегодня что-то вообще просто
Wow.
всех высаживает.
Wow.
So cool.
Okay. Mind blown. That was the first reveal of the Year 4 Season 2 Tyranny story trailer. I've got questions. The people at home, I know you've got questions. And to answer those questions, we've got three very special guests. We've got Nicolas Bombré, the game director of For Honor, Elise Trin, game writer, my boss, Clarissa's boss, Monsieur Pascal Leroux, brand director, to join us alongside today. How are you guys today?
Pretty good.
Fantastic.
Я так понял, что будет новый ивент по полигону, который был, да, на черные шмотки и вообще там в целом все.
Questions that need to be answered. Let's start off from the top. Year 4, Season 2, Tyranny. Nico, can you explain what makes this season more different than the others?
Well, you remember when we announced Year 4, we talked about the journey and how we wanted to make For Honor feel like it's a living world that's evolving over time. Well, I think that you'll find that as we transition from Hope to Tyranny and as the season goes on, we really push the envelope on that front this season. I'm super excited because of this, also because of the fact that it's, I think, the season that is the most content-packed, full of surprises. I think it's going to be our best season yet. I think by now you've noticed that we are transitioning from peaceful times with Hope to darker times, I think, as the trailer showed.
Okay, I got a question on that because at the end there seemed to be a familiar face. I don't know, this person Apollyon that was part of the campaign. Is she dead? I don't understand.
I mean, I don't know who that is. Apollyon was supposed to be killed after the campaign. So
that's how you're going to play us, Nico? That's
all in due time. All in due time. We'll be revealing things as the season goes on. This is only the beginning. And talking about beginning, I'm super excited to announce the return of the true fan favorite activity, Test Your Metal, for the beginning of Season 2 Tyranny. Hey. So you've been asking for this for a long, long time. It's finally here with a little twist.
Sweet.
That's amazing. Yeah, so like, you know,
Ну, давайте посмотрим.
about how we went from peaceful times to now a darker time.
Что вы там приготовили?
My personal favorite.
Подсказывайте правильные ответы, вонючка.
The direction of the narrative. So, Elise, what could you tell us about the narrative for this season?
Honestly, I can't tell much. To be honest, without spoiling anything, it's a tricky exercise for me. But I'm gonna do my best. So basically, you remember in season 1 we had the honor games, right? For the truce, it was more a peaceful season with the warriors trying to achieve some sort of agreement between factions, and they had those kind of Olympic games, you know, with warriors fighting each other. Now, Test Your Metal is back, and it's part of our lore now. It's called Metal Trials, and it's basically warriors reenacting battles from the past against impersonators of Apollyon, the Blackstones, and all the your favorite characters in the campaign. So that's where we are starting in season 2, and then at some point a new hero will come, and that's pretty much what I can say without spoiling any surprises.
So many surprises, but you know what? We can keep going with that because, of course, with the countdown, we saw the key art for the season of Tyranny, and we mentioned before in year 4, at the beginning of year 4, that we're taking a different direction with For Honor this year, right, Pascal? So we mentioned that we were working with renowned artists. So what can you tell us about the artists who worked for this season, Pascal?
Yes, first of all, I'm beyond happy by the final results and by this collaboration. This time it was fantastic. This time we worked with Carl Fitzgerald.
Я так понимаю, Apollion's Legacy, да?
Tremendous illustrator coming from UK. And if you don't know him yet, guys, Google his name and dive into his universe because honestly, he's so talented, so talented. And yeah, to support the narrative that Elise just mentioned, for Tyranny's asset, we wanted to, to have a little shift in terms of tone and style. And we were looking for something more cinematographic and more atmospheric, if I can say that like this. And when we saw Carl's art, we were okay. We definitely need to work with this guy. And it happened. We are very happy. And it's funny because before this interview, I was watching again this trailer. And, I was pausing it randomly. And every time I was telling myself, wow, you know, this image could be framed on my wall, and it would be super great. You know, it's a kind.
Вот этот парень вообще, короче, не понимает, что говорит.
Visually, it's you know, it's
Блин, я прослушал все.
From my perspective, and I hope from the perspective of all our community.
And I'm sure they will. Obviously, we've got a bunch of questions within this beautiful artwork, whether it be the story trailer, the actual iconic image. But let's dive into the actual content of this season.
Пофигу, так
Nico,
ответим.
can you give us a little bit of an overview of what players can expect? I know that there's 2 major milestones. We see June 11th, which starts next week, and you know August 6th, which is a big piece as well.
О, Центурион. Смотри.
So can you run us by maybe the second title update where the new hero releases?
Sure. So this season is gonna shake things up. So mid-season.
Да, ребята, будет 11 июня стартует, будет Центурион реворк, баланс героев, соответственно, новая сезонная кастомизация, ну, Battle Pass, понятно, Event Metal Trails и, ну, новый герой потом будет 6 августа, обнова. Core Combat Update, фиг знает, что это значит, Core, типа ядерный, чё, блядь, и больше призов.
A ton of great feedback. What I can tell you right now is that the team has been hard at work to implement a lot of the feedback that you gave us regarding damage tweaking, regarding light spam problematics, regarding
light spam problems.
The team has been looking at this, and right now we are aiming at a release for that mid-season point. You can expect that the spirit of the update is going to be the same, so it's really about making sure that the core
ну вот, да, наверное, да, вот правильно, Skydate, ты, вот, да. То есть, типа, новая механика будет вот эта введена?
And so more news on that, of course, later on during the season, I'm expecting,
right? Absolutely. As we move closer to the release date, we will.
Что, реально они уже начнут вводить новую механику, вот эту ускоренную? Ускорение, да, Виталик, ускорение. Блин, что-то они очень резко, да? Кардинально резко. Ну все, вот, 11 июня стартует Центурион реворк. Центурион реворк! Хорош. Интересно, какой он будет.
We have some more hero balancing elements that Stefan will detail. You can also expect new gear as well as a new battle pass with its own visual identity, specific rewards for you to grind throughout the season. And as I mentioned before, medal trials are going to be here to kickstart the season in style, because one thing I did not mention is that we have retrofitted the Apollyon Legacy rewards. So get ready to play and loot all of those awesome rewards.
Давай, reworks, давай. Ребят, все, только не ругайтесь, я вас очень прошу. Только не ругайтесь, не надо вот этой фигней заниматься. Самец, там, Скади, не надо, пожалуйста.
Yeah, because you know, this season for the dev team, of course, it's
он француз этот Паскаль, да?
Because we are shipping it from
пустите меня. Ты хочешь уже сам протестить его, да?
Of course, that everybody know. And on that note, I just wanted to give some shout outs to quite a lot of people.
Но я думаю, они не будут тот реворк делать, который был.
They did an incredible job supporting us and allowing us
Мне кажется, они что-то поменяют.
In the best condition possible. You know, that's awesome. Also to the dev team, because at the beginning, you know, this.
Но на самом деле, если Цен будет хотя бы приближен к Хитакири, то он будет силен,
And as you all know, the For Honor team really love challenges. And at the end of the day, we adapted quite quickly. And thanks to the hard work of the dev team and the support of the studio, we've made it. So I'm on a personal note, I'm very impressed and very happy by this. And last but not least, I wanted to also give a shout out to our players for their support, because you know, in this time it's so appreciated by us. And also,
вы посмотрите, как они чайниками своими шатают.
We had no other choice, but you know, we hope that they enjoyed the throwback events and the Into the Fray tournaments in the meantime. And it's happening. Season 2 is coming, and trust me, it will be memorable for our players and for us also, of course.
And that's exactly right. We've got June 11th. That's the launch date for this season, year 4, season 2. And we're going to go into all of the content today in terms of what you'll expect next week. So before we let you go, and I want to thank you for all of your time here, can you guys give me one word, apart from tyranny, of course, to describe this season? Nico, why don't you start?
Surprise.
Surprise.
Ambitious?
Да, я без вебки стримлю. Косарь подписчиков будет, вебку включу.
Corruption.
Corruption.
Yes.
Corruption?
I like it. Well, there you heard it, guys. We've got a bunch of more guests that are coming on to talk about the content. Thank you again for your time, and we'll be right back with Stefan to talk about the fight update with your boy Centurion on the line.
Короче, я буду самые основные моменты переводить, если кто что не поймет. Вот, потому что если я сейчас начну все переводить, я сам не успеваю иногда. Ну хорошо, это новый execution. Вообще отвратительно у рыцарей сделали, добивание просто отвратительно. Fire update, окей. According to the roadmap, which of the following will be released August.
Hello and welcome back. We are here with no one else than Stefan Jun.
Stefan.
You see how I'm like, whoop whoop. How are you, Stefan?
I'm doing great. How are you guys today?
Они самец, кстати, не стримят, они в записи
Hype
это
the
все.
shit, dude. Hype the shit.
Yeah.
Let's get right into it. We've got so much to talk about, and the big point of discussion here is our boy Centurion. Before we get into the actual update, I want to start from the beginning because that's just the way I am.
Они сейчас боевку начнут.
I want to understand when we talk about the Centurion, this update that's coming to
Centurion's
the players
update.
next week. Maybe you can give us a little bit of background, like from the get-go, what did you guys try to accomplish? When setting out.
Все, я верно ответил.
I want to call it maybe a rework/update for this character.
Давай.
Yeah, totally. I mean, it's been a bit of a journey to get to this point for the Centurion. Basically, when we play this character on live,
Гриша, привет. Да, реворк, цента.
Usually the kind of problems that we get into are we would like this character to feel powerful. It always kind of does when it's doing its thing. We'd like it to be able to do its thing a little bit more often. At the same time, we don't like it to be quite a character who's like, I'm going parry fishing, and I'm going to gank you into an interactive cutscene. So it's a matter of like, can we keep the good stuff? Can we neuter the bad stuff, basically?
Gotcha. And so that being said, so that takes us maybe to our first testing grounds with Centurion. That was in season 3 of
Да давайте уже показывайте.
Jormungandr, if I'm not mistaken. I'm a historical buff when it comes to For Honor's history. But yeah, so can you take us through, the initial step of going into that testing grounds and what you guys were trying to accomplish then?
Totally. Basically, it was a matter of like analyzing first what are the problems that this character has on live. When you look at Centurion on live, Centurion doesn't have a lot of 1v1 tools, for example. The late chain is 600 and 700 ms. Zone can't be feinted, so it's even a parry on hit, which is crazy. Quick grab doesn't force a reaction or really do anything, so the purpose is very mysterious at this point. Legion kick can't really kick somebody at this point who's paying attention to you. And then in group fight scenarios, it's a different problem. It's this character is really good at ganking even through revenge, the pins and so on, even beat revenge armor, which is inconsistent with the rest of the rules. So it's got a very strange goal right now in either 1v1 or group fight games. So we're trying to like pull away that that style and trying to fix some of those problems and give it a bit of a new role in the package while still maintaining the identity. That's the important part.
New role, он сказал.
So what we did in testing rounds, just to actually answer your question instead of just meander off to wherever I'm going, we tried a number of things. we saw that we got rid of like quick grab, for example, and we put jab in there. We made jab feintable, zone feintable, all kinds of stuff. This was really good because these pieces actually worked well. The stuff that wasn't really working well is what players identified on the testing ground.
Сохраню.
In their feedback, we'd see things like they could roll away from jab after a light hit, for example, for free with nothing Centurion could do. That sucks. Obviously, there shouldn't be 100% escape options for people. On the other side of the thing, even when it was working for the Centurion, we find that the opponent still found it annoying because even though there wasn't a cutscene in the testing grounds, the amount of times you got hit by the punch, when it had stun property, meant you had like flashbang in phase, boom, 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 constantly. So it's a matter of trying to
Flash, бум-бум-бум, да? Понятно, да?
Other items were stuff like wall splat didn't give any real beneficial punish, so how do you get to your Eagle's Talon or whatever? And there are a number of bugs with things like Lion's Roar, Haymaker, and so on. And the last thing they identified was like, hey, Legion Kick still is useless in this version. So basically that's what came out of the testing ground feedback.
Okay, well, and that I guess takes us into today.
У них эпилепсия была. По ходу дела, да.
You guys made to address that feedback. So I guess you can go into the details of like, you know, okay, now we've went.
Ну вообще в начале игры же сказано было, что
next week players
вспышки света могут привести к приступам эпилепсии. Не играйте в видеоигры.
Coming out of that testing ground, basically it was the amount of time to look at the feedback and figure out how do we adjust each of these things. So I guess let's hit it without further ado, right?
И вообще эту вспышку можно отключить в игре.
Cool. So set, here we go.
О, сет новый. Смотри, видели, да? Видели? Новый сет был.
Top to bottom. I'll kind of give a little bit so the people who haven't seen the testing
Zone attack
can see a little bit of like what is the stuff that was good then and we're keeping, and then what is the new stuff. So we'll kind of go. Zone attack, anyway, is now feintable. Obviously, this is what people want. This is what people need. And it doesn't make Centurion sad to actually hit the move and get parried afterwards. So yes, cool. Second attack is feintable, and third attack is feintable. And you'll see. Okay, that was the first feinting on the
Отменяемая зона. Отменяемая зона.
Third attack there. And now we're gonna target swap.
Вот это круто. Вот это круто.
You know, when you got a gank or when you're in a 1vx situation, you gotta learn how to target swap. But, you know,
Бля, цент ломаный, пиздец, уже видно, цент ломаный будет. Ой, какой он ломаный будет.
Attack more viable because, you know, you can, instead of letting it rip and then watching you be like, oh no, they're gonna block it, easy parry, I'm dead. Now they can swap or they can feint it.
То есть она у него на 180 получается, да?
So it's a little more unpredictable in this case, so that's gonna be good for him, which would be cool. Okay.
Или на 360.
Charged heavy finisher, as we saw in the testing grounds, is feintable, even once it reaches the unblockable portion. So we'll see a video for this one as well. And we'll see the character lets it rip first, I guess. Followed by feint. Yep, you saw the unblockable.
Заряженный отменяет.
So the VFX and the unblockable icon, the fire and so on.
О, он еще перевод с БГБ, но это круто.
So these are, so with the change, this.
Ну кулаком заряжать уже нельзя будет, да?
That players can use to, you know, have some mix-ups into their combat, right?
Exactly. I mean, on live, because you can't feint that, once you see that, you're like, okay, not much you can do about that.
Да, но из заряженного соффейн сделали в ГБ.
Now it's actually going to be a threatening option. That's going to be super cool.
Yeah, I think this one's a good tool, especially when you want to condition your opponent. So it's like, you know, when you want to keep doing it, like feint, and then eventually maybe throw out the guard break at the end, or maybe let it rip because they might think you're gonna feint it or whatnot. So it's really
you have choice.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be cool.
Короче, кулак они ему заряженный гарантом походу уберут, да? После хэвика заряженного.
Okay, as we saw in the
jump feint
grounds, it is now feintable, but we made a number of timing options.
Catch rolls after a light.
Timing changes to this.
Some property removed and uncharted jab is now target swappable. Swappable.
Jab, confirmed light, and then you attempt
Фули,
to jab,
фали, я не знаю, как
it's gonna
читается.
work.
Чат, джеб,
You have
now,
options to actually hit that or feint guard
360,
break that, and
да
so on.
ладно.
Same if you
For
go
the
to
hit.
heavy and feint guard break and so on. These feints into guard break and such are actually going to work now, which is super cool. Besides that, we've tried to reduce the frustration of being punched.
То есть получается
so
полная зарядка
We've removed
джеба.
the stun property on this, so you're not going to get flashbanged constantly. Jab is also target swappable as you're charging it. For Clarissa, wherever she is over here, personally.
Great
And
point.
we added,
That's a great point.
and we added an uninterruptible stance just before the hit, similar to, say, Warden's shoulder bash. Let's keep going through a little bit. Late attacks. Okay, so second late attack used to be 600 ms. Third late attack used to be 700 ms. Can anyone imagine what this attack actually looks like on live? I know I can't. So we've made it 500 here.
По 500 миллисекунд, как у вождя, короче, мы сделали лайты и не стали заморачиваться.
Which would be cool. So hopefully trying to bring this to parity with everybody else. And just give you a few more options after getting a confirmed jab, or for confirmed light on something. Cool. So let's put it all together there. On the next one, we've removed quick throw entirely. So again, quick throw
Быстрый бросок.
Threatens a guard break. However, the other options that this character has are light or heavy or whatever, right? So if you know that, you know you don't have to dodge anything.
Короче, не будет из этого об стену.
And if he does a quick throw, you just tech it. So it's not a scary move. Instead, we've replaced it by jab.
Теперь джеб был кик, ну была нога.
You're going to be terrified.
Кик просто, короче, был, да?
Jab, is it going to be fully charged jab? Is it going to be jab, feint, guard break? Is it going to be whatever, right? Light or heavy as well. Okay, cool. I think we've got a video to show lights and jabs all put together here. So light into jab, light into jab, light into fully charged jab.
Ну кулак, все, да, смотри, на заряженном у него будет гиперармор, да, ты прав.
Yep. So as you can see, there's a variety of things you can try at this point, and you'll see, I think Centurion's even trying to mix it up even further. So it should be some exciting stuff. What else did we change after that? Parry counter.
Вы понимаете, что это теперь будет в массовых зарубах?
When you get a wall splat off of parry counter, it's really not very satisfying. You didn't get the heavy very often, and you didn't get anything else. So here, what we're trying to do is allow jab after the parry counter instead of kick, which means on wall splat you can get the fully charged jab for free.
Короче, они сделали механику Вардена на нем. Ох, да ладно. Ну, по-моему, не так сильно, как можно было бы. Капец, он ломаный. Он такой ломаный будет, пиздец. Вот я даже не постесняюсь матюкнуться. Он ломаный будет жестко. Блять, ручки бы ему еще удлинили.
Basically, you want to make sure that you're not near a wall.
Still, I mean, Centurion's always going to be friends with walls. That's for sure.
That's true. That's true.
I mean, if you want to be extreme, you could try like threatening a jab, feint guard breaking at a ledge or something like that. If you're going for broke, I don't know. Try some stuff. All right, let's keep going through this. Legion kick, another thing identified as not good enough on live. So before it was 600 ms, we've switched it to 500 ms. This is more in line with like Conk Warlord, that kind of stuff. So we expect
Eagle Fury is now 800. Да вы что, сумасшедшие, что ли?
Similarly, you see on the movement side, the Centurions had a lot of attacks that really didn't have a lot of range.
Увеличенное движение вперед, ну, самоуклонение, я так понимаю, да? И увеличенное расстояние перемещения зоны, лайтов, хэвиков, ну, открывашек. Орлиная ярость. Это про удар с разбега, походу. Его ускорили.
So I would recommend if you're Centurion.
Но они его вариативнее сделали намного.
And then you'll be happy.
Ну, ребята, давайте
Well, this is
2
good
дня,
because,
2 дня
you know, he's meant to be
выходит
played
цент,
as
и
a
все.
close distance
И
kind of
все берут
character,
центов.
so hopefully,
Exactly.
yeah.
Get up close, bully them as possible for this guy now. So
Да, короче, у него вот
And then the
этот
last change we made there,
орлиная
equals
ярость,
fury, that's a touch
напрыжка
for
сверху, она теперь у
is
него
now
800
800
вместо
so you see
1000.
1000, and we slightly increased the range. So again, it's another step of like, hey, can we keep you close? Basically, is the intention here.
Ух, Японом это, посмотри, как она
That's roughly what's
быстрее
going on with
стала.
Centurion.
Да, и дальше. И
That's
дальше.
absolutely amazing. I know that this has been a long time
Ну вот,
coming for a lot of players.
написано,
and, you know,
что передний
obviously with the
стрейф
delay, we
и
haven't had the
forward
chance
dodge
to speak about this
distance
beforehand, so now we can
увеличены.
get the chance. I'm just wondering, and you know,
Также увеличена дистанция
as,
зоны,
as
light
maybe
opener,
people
heavy
that are
opener,
mains
heavy
of the Centurion,
finisher,
how does
jab
this affect
и
their
вот
play
напрыжки
style? Does his
орлиной.
role change? You know, do they have to get used to a new role within, like, you know, 4v4 situation, 2v1s, whatever it may be? How does his playstyle adapt after these changes?
I think it's going to be really interesting, actually. So in 1v1s, basically we saw, hey, play extremely defensively, go parry fishing, and then punish like heck when you can. I mean, you're still going to be able to parry like everybody else. That's not taken away. The extreme benefits are removed. The cutscene is removed. So the uninteractive element is going to be gone. You're going to see stuff like, hey, if you can jab it, you can dodge, right? You're not going to be like full heavy into full punch into Eagle's Talon. You're going to have dodge opportunities in the midpoint of this. So that's going to be really cool. At the same time, before you really didn't have options to initiate combat or to sustain combat once you got it going. Now you can. You can walk forward, Legion kick them. They're going to have to dodge at some point. If you do, empty dodge forward into guard break is going to work. Once you hit with Legion kick, you get your light. You're going to start up your whole, like, is it jab? Is it feint guard break? Is it whatever? That's going to be really cool. And the longer you can keep this going, because it's like quite a good set of options and powerful at this point, it's going to
Ну, они его хорошим сделали, цента. Очень хорошим. Бля, он теперь играться будет хорошо.
But it's going to be good for him. At the same time, in fours, Centurion's job really was like try to gank the crap out of someone who's about to get revenge, and don't really allow them to survive through revenge, which is niche and quite annoying, honestly. So that part's going to be gone. At the same time, improving the 1v1 aspect and stuff like the kick and so on will mean you can get the kill. And it's going to be really interesting to see how does this character evolve in group fights or not. Have to put it in the hands of the best players and see what happens.
Well, the good news is that they don't have to wait long because it starts June 11th, and that's when the update will be available for our boy Centurion. And that's not even all. We've got another surprise when it comes to our boys. So we'll see that later on, and you guys got a little tease at the intro. So that being said, there are a couple of other changes and updates in terms of fight. Why don't we get right into that? I guess my question to start you off is really, is there a common
hero
thing here
balancing
in the changes that you're going to run through right now?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, most of the stuff you're going to see in the hero balancing segment here basically comes out of more feedback that we get from you guys. We're doing like a player survey every season, the last couple of seasons, where we ask you specifically, hey, what is frustrating? What is fair? What do you like? What you don't like? And a lot of what you'll see in this particular patch is meant to address high frustration elements, properties on characters, as well as characters specifically.
Так, сейчас у нас, получается, будет этот Battle Pass.
There's going to be stamina nerfs. Those are probably the top two things we'll see.
Sweet. So let's dive right in then.
Cool. Let's hit it.
Yorm.
Yorm. Uninterruptible stance. You're going to see top heavy opener. Uninterruptible stance.
Нерфит Йорма. Нерфит Йорма.
Will now be 500. So this means if he's trying to feint, or sorry, if he's
Да,
trying
Виталик,
to parry,
можно пыль сдувать, я бы сказал, прям очень хорошо сдувать пыль.
There's going to be a little less leniency towards the Jormungandr in those states. Also, slightly later is a little more in line with a character like Warlord. So as you can see from Warlord, post our previous testing grounds, Warlords become fairly meta, let's say. I don't think this will be
Уменьшена стамина, то есть, типа, сжигание стамины уменьшено или что?
And Serpent Smite, which is dodge forward heavy,
Serpent Smite
is going to be much later. Again, much more in line with Warlord timings than it was on live.
Ну, Ярма
Stamina
понерфили.
damage and regeneration pause. This is also identified as a big element of frustration for characters. We've reduced the stamina damage done by the light opener, light finisher, and the guard break melee. While
Центрион, I can see, I
reducing
can
the
fight.
regeneration
Ну, я
pause
думаю,
on all
теперь
four
он так
of
может
the,
сказать.
The melees on this character. Cool. Let's keep going. Finishers, light and melee
Male
finishers
finisher,
are now
now
going to be frame
frame.
disadvantaged.
Heavy finisher,
was the
ГБ.
other, complaint you'd see in some of these surveys. Basically, what this means is that if Jormungandr goes light, and you get hit, or block or whatever, if Jorm then tries to start up another chain, and you try to start up your light chain,
Heavy
your light
в
chain will
Heavy
outrun theirs.
Finisher теперь более
So it'll no longer
успешен
be
или что?
Jorm. It's going to be Jorm, you. That's the idea.
Yarm, you.
So don't be afraid to press buttons against Jorm anymore.
So for that part, sorry to interrupt. So is it so that happens if you only if it's confirmed?
Я видос
or just,
сделаю.
like, no matter what, like,
Я
if
сделаю
it's
видос
blocked,
по обнове.
confirmed,
Basically in all
Всё на
situations. Same
русский
with melee finishers,
переведу.
even if that hits,
По возможности. Первое видео свое
you're
такое
going to
сделаю по
be
обнове.
the first one to act after that. And we've made slight timing adjustments that allow a little more.
Я так
easy
понимаю,
parry
что
of the light finisher as
тяжелый удар
So generally, you're going to have a couple more options when it
переходит
goes
в
with,
завершающий
that second attack
тяжелый
from Jorm. At the same
ГБ.
time, the benefit
То
that
есть
we're gonna give
перевести
Jorm here is the
хэвик
heavy to
в
heavy
хэвик
finisher guard break,
с
actually
гарбрейком
now can work. Before
теперь
you could roll it for
успешно.
free,
Чё успешно?
and
Если
that's
вот
no
так
longer gonna be the
переводить.
case.
Я просто не понял сути.
So it should be cool.
Хитакири.
Hitokiri, same deal basically as Jorm here. Uninterruptible stance and the light finishers are usually the pieces called out on this character.
Хита
So specifically, we're going to remove the
понерфили
uncharged
тоже.
heavy opener's uninterruptible stance. It's no longer going to have armor, basically. You still get it when you fully charge, and that's going to be all right. So sad days for heavy on red fans, but good days for everybody else. And then sweep, we're going to slightly make the uninterruptible stance a bit later as well. Again, this will be more in line with war
Sweep
timings.
это...
That's fair to me. Light finishers, same deal as Jorm. More or less same deal as Jorm, let's say. The difference is they will no longer be enhanced. So that means if you block, it will actually stop the Hitokiri, which would be cool. And we slightly adjusted timings so that it is a little easier to dodge or to parry the.
И я
light
так понял,
finisher as well.
что на противник
So the
может
expectation is to see,
доджнуться от
less
лайта,
heavy on
от
red and
заключительного
less,
лайта.
light spam.
Да, вот последний лайт
problems.
можно доджнуть.
Finally, the fun one. Who wants to pronounce this one? We've tried it a few times.
Senbonzakura.
А свип?
Damn.
Что это у него за
That was
свип?
No, that was good. What?
No,
That was
no.
actually
I'm gonna get roasted in the chat. I know for a fact. But let's go.
No. I
Swipe
think
You
it's
know
fine.
what? I appreciate it, guys.
Жена мне еще помогает
For me, I would have
перевести.
said Zenbonzakura, but I don't know.
That's a lot better. You see? Well, they outshine me. But please go
Either
ahead.
is way better than us. So yeah, we'll just move on. We'll call it tier 4.
А, свип это, то есть получается нижний удар ногой, я так
Exactly.
понял, да? Вот ее нижняя подножка.
Therefore, it is parryable. Therefore, it will auto
То есть он теперь еще длиннее станет, то есть 1000 ms вместо 800.
But then Hitokiri kills me with the unblockable on the other side. So it's going to be cool, I think. Shugoki. Same deal on the uninterruptible stance.
О, лайт, да, понерфили?
Stance. Put it in chat if you know what that is. Yeah.
Первый лайт 300 миллисекунд.
Light opener, we're going to make it a bit later.
Я так
To
понял.
300. It used to be 200. And the heavy opener, the uninterruptible stance will start at 433. Basically, same deal as the other characters. We'll make it a little bit later. It's still going to be all right for Shugoki. but heavy on red or light on red in this case is going to be a little
То есть,
less
типа,
powerful.
light opener и
And then
heavy
heavy
opener
opener
это
charge
не имеет в
used to be
виду,
immune
типа,
to guard break
гиперброню,
while
да, его?
charging, which meant that you would bounce off him a little more, so it should be a little bit easier to deal Shigoki.
Все, теперь я понял.
Alright, JJ, little one, HP is going down to 140. This brings it in line with everybody else in the cast. As of
Деду ХП
40 max,
убрали.
except for the next guy,
JJ.
Lawbringer, who's also coming
Вот
down
это
to
давно пора.
140. And finally, Impale on this guy is also going to follow the normal binding rules. There are a number of scenarios that he would get the Impale that other people would have bounced off. So we're going to unify these rules.
Вот оно, собственно...
Awesome.
Okay, Nusha. She gets a buff. Everyone else gets nerfed, but she gets a buff.
Buff Нуся.
Tier 1 and Tier 4 feats. Small damage increase on her deadly duet.
I think you got it.
Duet.
Yeah, we'll go with duet.
We'll try that. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And her Tier 4 feat, basically a variety of buffs. It's actually
10 тиков, 10 урона за тик.
No hit reaction. It's going to last her 10 seconds. It's going to deal 10 damage per tick instead of a weird variety of damages starting very low and working up to very high. Cooldown is going to be reduced as well. And although the radius will be slightly reduced,
Ей еще на 20% дамаг повышает. Я так понимаю, что от захватов.
Super hype feat. I really like it because it tries to control a fight without mass damage.
Да, просто на самом деле очень много слов непонятных для нас, для русскоязычных, да и вообще.
If people try this out and try to do some stuff with Nusha. Finally, last one. Black Friar.
Удалите его вообще нахер.
Bulwark counter is only going to be allowed to counter attacks. Is no longer going to be allowed to counter heat traps.
Тряпичные куклы, чё, блядь?
There are weird ragdoll body things. There's stuff about people using interactions like entering or exiting ladders. No longer can you flip these people. Now you have to actually flip
Ragdoll body.
That's
bodies.
That makes perfect sense.
Но это
it does seem reasonable, doesn't it?
Well, thank you so much for stopping by, Stefan, and as well as your very good boy in the background that I see. That being said, we've got
Что значит толкнуть настоящего стойки его не получится?
As of next week, June 11th, where you guys can get more details on all of those changes. And obviously, there's still more to come this season. We haven't even dived into the all of the changes that have to do with the core combat update. Will come later on.
А что, он так разве мог, да?
A big thank you for stopping by and talking about our boy Centurion, which we are not done with just yet. And that's a perfect segue to our next guest and our next segment, which is the new customization for this season. Mr. Andrew will be with us right after this.
Совместно Нюси начнет катать. Да ну ее. Вот это тоже ужасное, на самом деле, execution у них. Просто типа фонарик запустила, да, в честь погибшего. Ну, я так понимаю, да? Customization и Battle Pass контент.
And we are back with a very, very special guest, our friend Andrew M, Associate Art Director on For Honor. How are you today?
Good. Incredible.
Incredible, or should we say incredibilis? Because, yes, guys, we are not finished with the Centurion today. We've been teasing it all show. We've got a little surprise for you. Let's roll the goddamn tape as we start talking about customization. Look at this shit. Holy crap, he's got a face to the
Holy
word
shit.
Incredibilis, ladies and gentlemen. This
Да?
beautiful
Как они
Italian
любят
man
говорят.
is now upon us. Andrew,
Ну,
can
слушай,
you tell
нормально
us a little bit
так-то.
about coming up with this face? And this is something obviously that's completely new, a new armor set for the
Могло бы
Centurion
быть и
that
хуже.
shows this beautiful jawline, the mustache, with the beard. The nose is very present.
Максимус,
Tell us a little bit
да,
about your,
да, Жека,
your
здорово.
journey and the
Максимус,
challenges
точно.
in coming up with a face to someone that has been faceless in For
Прям
Honor's history for
гладиатор,
the most
ёпта.
part. Well, not for the most part, for the entirety of his career.
Right. Well, Centurion has a very interesting characteristic. If you play this character, you will know that his emotes, his movement, there's a confidence on his movement, but there's always also underneath it, there's a little bit of a cockiness there. His face has quite. I wanted to make his face a bit serious, but at the same time, there's
На
also
Стефана
hidden
похож.
smile that
Да не.
makes the ease the people and gives
Ну,
a
может, только
humor. So
глазами.
there's a interesting challenge to create his face, but then there was a pretty fun task that I had.
And coming up with that task, I mean, is it difficult? You know, do you want to use, like, you don't have to name necessarily, but I'm sure you're using references to come up with this face.
Of course. Basically, when we create the face, we use the collective unconsciousness as our
It's a mouthful,
guideline.
don't worry about
Basically,
it.
yes. We watch a movie and there's an actor who acts acts like a Centurion in the movie. And once you see their face, that's like, oh, I remember that face who was acting in that way.
Oh, I
That's
remember
how we use
that face.
how we create it's the process of creating the face. So we choose couple actors and try to combine it to get the right feeling of this character, and that's how we completed his face.
Ну вот на самом деле броню бы
Yeah, I
могли
mean, well,
чуть-чуть и
speaking
получше
about the
сделать.
face, we have to
Хотя
also
бы
talk
типа
about his armor,
рельеф,
right? Like
как
I
будто бы
said. So I'm
мышц вот
assuming
добавили бы,
that
как у
this
него вот,
might-
собственно, есть
this isn't
стандартно. Но я
just
думаю,
the
можно
only set that people
будет
can get.
закомбинировать это все дело.
No, there are variations of the Centurion's armor. This time, what we wanted to kind of do is more of a
Ну
more
да, слушай, они
traditional
прям как
setup.
Максимусы
The armor
сделали, вот серьезно, из
structures,
Гладиатора.
and
Шлем
there's
убогий,
a
блядь.
better type. You don't obviously don't see it from here, and then there's also the traditional sandals that will make it very looking like a Centurion from the Roman. It's like before that it was a bit of a
Вот третий
modern
ничего,
fantasy on
он
it,
тут он
but
похож
this is
на
a bit
реальный.
going towards the traditional the armor sets. And
Третий
I think
хорош.
a lot of people were demanding to have this type
Ну,
of variations.
ну четвертый
Yeah, well,
неплох,
these are
ну
amazing variations. But we
такое,
have to talk
короче,
about
могли бы и
the rest
получше
of the
сделать.
season and the other heroes that are getting.
Of course, as we promised,
Yeah,
we
so
have
what can you
more
tell us about this
variations.
Вот смотри, татухи
Exactly.
появились.
Overall, I mean, as you guys know by
Ну
now,
слушай, ему
the
прям
theme is a
морду
bit
карателя
dark,
сделали, да?
darker than before. I mean, the last season.
Ну такое ощущение, что
We don't
просто
get to
взяли
see
сверху,
all the
налепили
details
на
from this
старую и
video.
все.
We don't see the back, so I'll leave that up to you
Ой,
guys to
юста
find out.
какого-то японца сделали,
But,
да?
There's also always
Мне
a
интересно,
hint
что с
of,
Highlander.
darkness within every variations. Or the mystery. So as you can see from the Peacekeeper, you see
Ну,
a
Peacekeeper
Venetian mask
ничего.
on top of it. So there's also, you don't get to find out what she's thinking of it. But then visually, it's a quite interesting culture that I
О,
wanted to explore.
ну все, это я понял, это
Also,
каратели
there's a
будут,
white
короче,
belt.
варданы,
This is
блядь,
something
с
that's
щитами
quite big
карателями,
for,
все
the world.
черные с красными глазами.
And
Все,
also very traditional.
Кенсей.
The mask for Kensei's,
На дракона морда похожа, да? С усами.
Kensei's mask with the nice mustache.
Это что за грустный хуй, блядь? Вот серьезно, просто... Ай, блядь. Ну, что за
They
фигня?
don't look
this is his
they don't
first
look very happy. Yeah,
Yeah,
they don't look happy at all.
Ой, боже мой, ну что это такое?
The darkest one. What happened?
Надо красить в Джокера
Yeah, I don't know
было.
what happened to Nobushi. So angry. It's creepy.
It's a bit creepy, yes.
Yeah.
And of course, the Shikoki, another pimped up version of it.
Ну, не знаю,
Very
ребят.
green.
Very nice. And so when you come up with these new armor variations,
Чё,
obviously you're
Варло-
trying to encompass, like if we're looking at the
Блин,
world,
ну,
what are you trying to accomplish
короче,
here?
сделали в
Again, in the
стиле,
spirit of creepiness,
В стиле
sorry,
просто статуи.
intimidation.
When we read the
Валька.
Reddit, there's
Ну,
always
Валька
a
такая,
demand of
серьезная.
the player, and that's I'm trying to kind of get satisfied where they're so.
Ну, Берс что-то не очень, на самом деле. Такой уже есть у него сет. Просто покрасили, такое ощущение, да?
There is one variation that you will be able to use it to make sure that he has a
Райдер.
full
Ну,
mask.
такой уже у него есть же сет.
Edgy as all hell.
Ну да, чуть-чуть низ поменяли, да, так. Маска-то есть такая, просто озолотили ее и чуть-чуть рельеф.
You added a Gucci chain?
Где
Is that
Горец,
what that
блядь?
is? Is
Почему
that
опять Горцу не дали ничего?
A little bit of
little bling bling?
Here and there,
Yeah, of
bling bling
course.
here and there.
Walk into the club,
Another
you know what I
very,
mean?
yeah. Another cool variation from the set.
Блядь, ну
the
вот
new
серьезно,
set that we
почему
introduced
ни
last
Гладиатору,
time
ни
for the
Горцу
DMV.
ничего не дали?
For Shaolin, that's a very expressional mask. Another version of the Monkey King that we created.
Манки вообще говно, блин.
I don't know how to describe that face.
Упоротая
It looks
обезьянка
like
такая.
Yeah, that's it. Surprised? Ooh.
Ну, террорист.
Yeah, that's what I'm imagining.
Джей, смотри какой, да?
Very cool patterns and nice engravings on Lucia, and a mask version of JJ.
JJ's not looking as happy-go-lucky this time around. I'm sad to see that. Okay, well, that being said, that's not it, right? We've got to talk about obviously the weapons that are coming with this season. So what can you tell us about the weapons? And I know that we've got a video to look at all of them. So
Тянди стырил шапку на самом деле у Сюгоки.
The armors that we just saw, these are the lootable items that you get from, you know, end of match drops and stuff like that. So let's dive into the weapons maybe.
Right, sure. I think there's for season 14 there's a special weapon that we wanted to make for a special player. Clarissa can.
Yeah, so the first weapon that you're going to see is the Warden's weapon, and this one's special because it's for one of our players, Oki, who honored us with his Make-A-Wish request, and so we chose Warden because he said that Warden is his favorite weapon,
Одну ночь на
and he
центе
named it
катать,
as Okin's
потом
Revenge. So shout out to you, Ogi, and to your Make-A-Wish chapter, and we hope that you're doing well during these times.
Ну, короче, они сделали в цвет, да, вот.
It was
цвет обновы.
Pleasure to make a specific weapon for
Toxic? Это разве Toxic Green?
Yeah.
Я, короче, не знаю.
From that, when it comes to the weapons in the actual kind of theme of the season, obviously I'm seeing a lot of green. I can see that as maybe the common theme for these weapons.
Right. Overall, the color of this season is a toxic green.
Toxic green.
And it's applied to throughout the whole weapon. You can just guess what that means, and then you'll find out eventually.
Yes.
These are just the reskinned weapons, and only the Black Prior. I think we just passed it, and the Wu Lins will have new visuals. But other than that, those are the.
У Хольдера такой же сет есть. Покрасили только. У Берса все то же самое, просто цвет поменяли. У Горца есть такой меч. Ну, чуть-чуть. Не, форм-фактор такой же, ну, покрасили и чуть-чуть орнамент поменяли. Все. Говно, блин. Шаманка, Йор. Все то же самое. Да, говно, короче, оружие.
But obviously these are all going to be available starting next week, June 11th for Year 4 Season 2.
Возможно, да,
Tyranny,
возможно,
for those of you who may be joining us late on the live stream, which is not very live because it's pre-recorded. But that being said, you know, Andrew, for this season,
давай все покрасим зеленый.
we're going to let these
Контент, да, Жека. Щит говно.
What are you most excited about?
Ну что, не могли покруче что-нибудь придумать, серьезно?
It's something that we weren't even be able to
вот он усик классный, да? Форм-фактор такой же, но вот цвет, все четко сделано.
We'll slowly unveil the stuff, and as we are moving on, that it's going to be there.
So we're just at the tip of the iceberg, is what you're saying, basically.
Ну я Battle Pass обязательно возьму.
You know what? I actually just want to reveal everything.
No, Andrew, you can't do it. Don't do it.
Я бы сказал, что это что-то похоже на нефритовый, да, цвет? Нефритовый цвет. Ну какой же это Toxic?
I saved it. I just couldn't find the player. Give 1 second, no?
No, Andrew.
1 second,
no. VHS. This is 2020. We can't do this, okay?
We don't do this anymore?
No. That's even as a boomer myself, I say that VHS it's done. That being said, okay, so we took a look at the weapons and armors that have to do with the lootable aspect of this season's content, but that's not all, right? Because we have The Battle Pass, Year 4 Season 2 is coming out with a new Battle Pass as well. And there's items that are related to that. So we can maybe take a look before we dive into the actual weapons of the Battle Pass. We have a few items that we want to highlight. Obviously, this is going to be themed around something that's a bit more dark, as we mentioned. So we can roll the clip right now and take a look at the flagship items of Year 4 Season 2's Battle Pass. So what can you say about this?
Well, Season 14 introduced a new type of dark. It's a new order called the Horkos. They arrive, and we don't really know what they are trying to bring with them. We'll find out slowly. There are a lot of mysteries that we that will be unveiled throughout the season.
Ну такая, конечно.
It's insane.
It's all in here.
Это прощальный пир, просто чуть-чуть модифицировали и все. О, ну добивашка.
So that looks like a yummy juice. Okay, so let's keep
прикольно.
going here. That being said, we've got the weapon sets. We're going to take a look at the Horkos Trophy Head Free Roam emote.
Голова Вардена, да, я так понял? Голова Вардена.
Content coming with Year 4 Season 2. The new weapons, you're getting a sneak peek here on our on the Centurion and the Valkyrie, but we'll actually dive in a bit deeper with the next video that we're going to show you guys.
Горец, где DLC-шные персы-то?
Let's launch the video, but what can you tell us?
Где DLC персы? Горец, Гладиатор, где их броня новая?
Right. The theme of these weapons are the alchemy, the rebirth, and the mysticism. These are the main topic that this first part of a season.
Что-то у них в последнее время золото, блядь, да, с какими-то цветами интересными такими.
This dark time. The like main material that I use for this one is the red. That's those are the main material that we used. The color wise, it's a bit more saturated, so you will kind of see it's a very vibrant. And it's all the designs and weapon designs are inspired.
Я вот это не слышал, если честно.
It's kind of bizarre illustration when you kind of search for.
Давай ответим corruption.
You see a lot of this type of
Мне просто понравилось.
interesting illustration that they are kind of a fantastic and decorative and artificial in a way, and. When you look at the design, there's a lot of hatching lines. It's kind of a straight hatching lines, and the themes there are a sun,
ну все, я правильно ответил, да.
And creatures,
Значит,
animals, and geographical shapes, and it's a lot of a cool thing that made our job interesting to do.
And the colors I can, you know, this we just went through the first set, which was for the Knights, but I can see also the colors are like a bit more vibrant.
Ну такой необычный.
You know, a little bit stand out a bit more than the rest of the seasons, maybe.
They are. They will really pop out
это Нуса, да?
in the battlefield. That's the point that I wanted to bring. It's something that when you kind of carry it, I wanted to make it. It's like, that's it's unique. It's a decorative stuff. It's not
Гарри Поттера.
It's like, what the heck is this?
I tell you right now, I would put every piece of weaponry that you're showing in my kitchen.
Не знаю, у Хитакири, ну такое себе, конечно. Какая-то цыганщина, если честно.
Incredible work that you guys did. There's geographical shapes, like you said. I'm not much of a mathematician. I failed math.
Вот я тебе говорю, цыганщина какая-то.
It's incredible.
It's just with on these weapon sets, we wanted the themes to drive whole weapons. Normally we divide it into each faction, so each faction has their own identity of the weapon, even though the theme is like, let's say, fire or ice. But this time I wanted to kind of really stick with the culture, as I did it for the previous one, the Prince of Persia. This one is another very unique one that will kind of
в Battle Pass'е, конечно, покруче оружие. Более детализированное, да? Конечно, цвета такое себе. Хотя, смотри, у Кенсея ничего такое, да? Вот у Кенсея ничего такое. Шапка на да. Ну давай, что у нас там по викингам? Raider!
Well, that's good if you don't recognize it right away.
Да, это за Battle Pass оружие.
Yeah, there you go.
Ох, ёпты, блин. Ну что это? Какой beautiful? Ты чё, блин?
That's been done in
Beautiful.
Chengdu Studio. So I thank a lot for them.
Они,
Very
короче,
talented
типа
people.
какую-то идею же сюда
Yes,
вкладывали, да?
Very talented. When it comes to art,
Вот классное, что да, внизу у Берсерка рука держит вот этот красный камень. Вот это классно было. Чё у горца. Ну это с Battle Pass старого меч. Только угол заострили наверху, закруглили вернее. Шаманка. У горца такой себе, конечно. Ну, можно поюзать будет.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna collect them all. Well, I mean, like, you know, you can when you're.
Ну смотри, у Йорма ничего такое, да? Ничего такое. Форма прикольная.
Oh, this one's my favorite. The shield.
Да вот у всех такие книжки были, вот.
We're literally using the shield as a canvas.
Ну слушай, у Вальки тоже ничего так.
It was really fun to.
Смотри, какой острый, да? Бля, прям тыкать лайтами будет. Ну все, ваш Дил меч сразу обосрали, видно. Короче, они делают в стиле, в таком вот каком-то арабском стиле. В арабском стиле делают. Потому что новый персонаж, он будет что-то из этого. Там какой-то раб, да, был, как он там? Я не помню, как его правильно они называются, но это рабы. В арабском стиле делают.
You know, the mix and match of the colors and stuff like that, just, it looks like nobody else has it, you know? It's great.
Ну, вот
Look
это...
at this, a moon. That's insane.
Это у Джей Джея? Чья фракция он будет? Не знаю, Жека, не знаю. Может быть, вообще новая фракция будет. Мамлюк, вот, точно. Все, Самец, спасибо большое. Мамлюк, да.
It's not even halfway there. So
incredible.
Смотри, смотри, там внизу чуваки стоят, батлпассовские. Видели, да? Надо будет посмотреть, что там. Блин, цвета, конечно, они, блин, такие себе. Ну вот у монаха ничего еще цвета, да?
Rose gold finish there that I'm seeing?
Maybe.
What is that, an escargot? Is that a snake?
Snake?
Nope.
I am snake, follow me. I am snake, follow me.
Okay, there's two nope ropes. Okay.
Меня услышали, думаешь? Че там у Джей Джея? Ну ему подходит, вот Джей Джею подходит. А, это Тианди, блин, это Тианди. Да и Тианди подходит.
I'm game to finish on the bizarre frog. By all means, this is actually very incredible. Year 4 Season 2, again, this is the collection of items that you see for the Battle Pass of Year 4 Season 2 Tyranny. Again, we didn't have the flexibility of necessarily being able to pause on each item as we normally do, but you guys kind of get the sense of all of this great stuff that you'll have access to. Again, there's
ну, на Battle Pass они постарались, конечно.
Premium Pass, so this will be available for the Premium Pass owners. You know, you'll have that showcase within the VOD if you guys choose to take a look at the items that you want. There'll be more details on the For Honor Game website, so forhonorgame.com. We'll have all of the updates that we're talking about. You get to see all of the tiers of the Battle Pass as well. Andrew, want to thank
Battle
you for
Pass
stopping
as well.
by and taking your time to
Понятное
talk
дело,
about
что
all
он
of
будет
this
as well.
great new content for Honor Fashion, because we know that that's a big ticket item for our players. Thank you again. I hope you had fun. Did you have fun?
Oh yeah. It was a different. I don't have you right next to me, so it's hard to get into it. But then it was still by pleasure to show you guys what we worked very hard for up to this point. I'm really thankful for the whole team, even when we had a difficult time to produce all these assets, but then we never stopped. And this is not
Реализм один лайтости сразу попадает.
As you told me,
на цинте-то теперь можно будет и поспамить.
Before, it's just the tip of iceberg that we reveal to this point. I just cannot wait, but then I just have to wait a little bit longer to reveal everything. and I can guarantee you this will, for the content wise also, it's the best season in For Honor history that I can promise.
Best season?
You
Ну,
just raised
посмотрим.
the bar. But so thank you so much again for stopping by. We're still not done with today's show. We've got one last segment to talk about. For Honor Games Medal Trials, where Test Your Medal is finally back. And we actually have some customization to show still, because we're bringing some stuff back, ladies and gentlemen. Retrofitted. We're going to get to it with our friend Stefan, and as well as Alex Voyer, to talk about For Honor Games Medal Trials right after these messages.
Ну давайте, Стефана нам. Вот на центе, короче, сейчас будет такая типа фишка. Кулак заряжаешь, и все сразу от него улетать будут. Ну, сразу уворачиваться, а ты его просто будешь задерживать и ронять постоянно. Все по привычке будут сразу уворачиваться от кулака. Давай, Metal Trails. Да я уже курить хочу.
Oh baby, we are back with some new face, well at least one new face and one familiar face. Let's start off with the most important guest, Alex, because Stefan, we already saw you.
Ну да, кстати,
Alex,
Жек на Стефана похож. На Стефана похож.
Tell me how your day is going.
It's going good. I gotta admit that last time I was a lot more nervous, but now I'm in the comfort of my living room, so it should be good.
And Stefan, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to, undermine your presence. I love you to death, you know that, but I need a jab once in a while. So how you doing?
This is a back and forth you and I have. The will he, won't he? It's a perfect conversation.
It's gonna be a battle that rages on for the rest of our lives. But that being said, guys, we've got so much stuff to talk about for Honor Games Medal Trials. This is. For those of you who don't know, we're bringing back Test Your Medal. I know that was pretty obvious from the top of the show. And some of you don't know what Test Your Medal is, and I don't blame you, because it was, a couple of years ago, so maybe you're new to For Honor and you joined in late, and we're going to talk about all of that good stuff because we got a twist. So Clarissa, do you mind setting maybe the context and what this twist really is for Honor Games Medal Trials?
Yes, I can. We have a lovely PowerPoint for that. But basically, like Elise said in the beginning, the medal trials is going to be.
О, смотри, какой вождь классный. Вот такой вождь должен быть в игре, суки. Они в сюжетке.
The world's attention was focused on the truce of Wyverndale, a sinister threat grew in the shadows. The festivities of the Honor Games began a new chapter with the reenactment of battles against Apollyon and the Blackstones, but none of the warriors foresaw that the event would soon be remembered as one of the darkest moments in the Heathmore's
history. Ты все, Дэн, пропустил. Все пропустил.
So much grimness. Is that a word? I don't care.
Да,
That's crazy, guys.
Уши нужны.
Yeah, the darkness. But that being said, we have this kind of mixed emotions here. We're starting off year 4, season 2, obviously in this context that is still in the Honor Games, but there's something that's going to happen. Shit is going to hit the fan. So we'll see when that happens. But can we dive in maybe more in terms of the game mode? Test Your Medal. Stefan, can you start us off and bring us back to time with this classic throwback?
Вождь!
Totally. This is fan favorite.
Ты посмотри, какой вождь, Жека!
In the context of the Honor Games.
Ты посмотри, какой вождь, Жек!
Remember the Honor Games from the previous season of Hope, where basically, people were having fun.
Вот цент вообще пошел.
Medieval type kind of battles. Not meant to kill each other, but it's swords, it's For Honor, it's a bit dangerous to have fun. So, heads are gonna
Не, после Раги роняет.
And here, basically, great fighters have taken on the armor and the mystique of campaign story mode bosses.
2 лайта может дать.
You are gonna fight them.
А все, кулаком типа не может ударить, да?
For the enjoyment of the crowd, basically.
And yeah, and so this may be the.
Я думаю, что не новая карта, а чуть-чуть просто доработанная.
Might be Apollyon in the key arts. I don't know if that's the reason. Maybe we'll find out later in the season. I don't know, guys. I don't know, and I won't tell you today.
I don't know. Да что ты не знаешь?
If I did know. But that being said, Stefan, you spoke a little bit about the game mode overview, but maybe let's dive into the details of what it means to really play Test Your Medal and what players can expect next week.
Chapter 1.
So it's
Napoleon, Holden Cross,
elimination
Mercy Stone, Tozen, Kizan,
humans, and the other 4 will
Ragnar,
be
Runa,
the bosses from the campaign mode, the
Napoleon,
computer
Shadow,
controlled
Tozen,
ones.
Gudmundur.
If you don't know if you're a human or a computer, We'll debate that after the show, I guess, to help you out. But other than that, we've got
Босс.
two
То
chapters.
есть, короче, возвращаются
to
боссы,
two
Storm
chapters,
Mode
right?
и Storm Mode. 4
The
на
first
4.
chapter, you will fight a random
Ну,
roster. Either it'll be led by Apollyon and it'll be her knights, or it'll be led by Samurai.
я хочу черный сет на горца от Аполеона.
Samurai and the
Я не
Samurai.
успел
Tozen and the
схватить
Samurai?
тогда.
Yeah, there we
I don't know
go.
what I'm saying anymore. Or Goodmunder and the Vikings. And it'll be, you know, best of 7 eliminations. Super fun. And then in chapter 2, when that comes, it'll be a boss parade. It'll be made up of Apollyon, Tozen, Shadow of Tozen, and Goodmunder. And it's a super awesome chance for you guys to show off your skills against the story mode bosses one more time. Rules pretty basic. It's elimination, best of 7. But every time you win a round, bosses are going to get harder. They might increase their HP, they might get shield HP for the round, or they might get a damage dealt bonus, or they might get multiple as you get towards the later rounds. So it's going to get tougher and tougher and tougher.
То есть
So you're
раунды
basically
подняли.
saying that they're sore losers. This is what I gather.
Boss of
Absolutely. I mean,
Faction. Tozen is
they
a boss
lost during story mode. They lost
Tozen?
in the original Tester Metal.
Vikings,
They can't take the L's. I've been taking the L's since the first time I
По-моему,
played
Vikings.
For Honor, so they have to learn, okay? That's how I've learned.
Я уже забыл
Okay.
про это все.
Yeah, it is practice.
Самураи? Ну, я
The amount
ошибся.
of practice that I've gotten hasn't been
Поменять,
enough.
к сожалению,
Okay,
нельзя.
let's get into the actual context of the Honor games. I know that there's, as you mentioned, kind of the fact that, you know, we had this in season 1 of year 4. We're getting into season 2, and we're in the same context. Alex, what can you tell us about the environment that we're going to be playing Test Your Metal in?
Well, first of all, the Knights decided to host these games in the Shard. So what that means is that they needed to clean it up quite a bit, remove all the debris, fix some walls, fix some
Ну,
towers,
облагородили
and
так-то.
then dress it up.
Да,
to make it
самурай,
more
видишь,
festive.
Скади, ты был прав. Ну,
One of the challenges that we had actually was how do we
Поспешил я.
differentiate this stadium versus the Samurai one that we had earlier. So this way we went more of like the Ren Fair type of feeling with flags, banners, and decorational crests.
всех
and whatnot.
добавили.
Of course, the band is back.
Yeah, of course. You need the band. You need music.
Они, короче,
It's a
типа
live event.
Игру престолов делают.
You can check it out also. The lighting
Это
is all
замес 4 на
custom
4, да.
for this event, just to really make the colors pop out more and make things feel very festive.
That's true.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and-
very dark, isn't it?
It's true. It's true. I mean, they've upped their game. They've done a good job as hosts. I'll tell you that much.
Ну,
for this
Крипос,
event,
смотри,
but
получше сделали.
With that being said, I mean, I like to describe.
Да, я
this a
говорю,
little
Игру
bit like the
престолов
Olympics,
делает.
is that, you know, we have this this activity that was played in year 4, season 1, and now we're coming into like another sport. We can assume that maybe the Honor Games never really ended, and to start off year 4, season 2, to bring back Test Your Metal, I think it's a phenomenal twist in terms of, you know, what to expect lore-wise. I see some tents in the background. What the hell's going on over there?
Well, since they're having people from all over, every faction, they decided to have accommodations for everyone, I guess.
It's
So
out of
it's pretty
everything.
cool. Yeah,
That's
food,
crazy.
drink, everything, and it's pretty gritty too, with arguing crowd members and trash everywhere. It's really cool. To keep
That's
us
awesome. That's
Ну,
awesome.
неплохо,
That's
неплохо.
not it, right? Clarissa, do you want to maybe touch upon the in-game realization
Посмотрим, как
as
это
well
будет
for this
работать.
event?
Yeah, so like, you know, every season, whenever we have an event or something special, we change the main menu and also the face-off. So we do have here the main menu, which is inspired by the key art with
Warden.
a little bonfire right next to our warden over here.
Keep them warm.
Oh,
Yeah,
here.
exactly. And then we also have for the face-off inspiration from the trailer with the nice rose or flower, sorry, which will turn a little red and disappear. So what's really special about this, though, I don't know what Uri told you, but he told me that something may or may not change between these two realizations. What will it be?
То есть
Yes,
они
we
типа
gotta
ботов
find
обсуждают
out,
сейчас, да?
you know?
Keep up these teases, guys. Just keep them on the
Они
clip.
даже, вернее,
God, it's getting hot. Let's go. Okay, that being said, we talk about the event, the in-game
Ну да,
realization,
ботов.
the map, the game mode, but year 4, season 2 also brings back the rewards that we had from Test Your Metal back in the day.
Age of Wolves. Battle Outfit. Черный сет, да. Да, детка. Надо на горца выбивать.
Right now we're taking a look at the Age of Wolves battle outfit that's coming back. So there's
О, смотри.
common rewards, there's exclusive rewards per week. So all of that good
Гравировка.
stuff. I don't know if you guys have any favorites in terms of this, but in terms of For Honor fashion, it's one of like the best things that there is out there when it comes to being edgy.
Wait till you see the execution mood effects that comes with this one right here. It's really
Free
insane.
roam
It's super
emote.
cool.
Free
I can't wait to
roam.
equip it. I think it's my favorite.
It's gonna be sick. And so that being said, let's dive in maybe into the armor sets as well, because we've got those. Again, the details that have to do with this, we're looking at the Black Prior. This is a Harbinger hero.
Да, смотри, да, значит, на горца кину тоже.
So,
мой дружочек-пирожочек.
Хита.
Хита. Вот, смотри, ну вот это уже больше похоже на нормального человека.
Again, this is a 3-week event from June 11th, which is next week.
Йорма, смотри, сделали. Голос бы ему поменяли, а вот татухи классно сделали. Черный сет. На всех надо выбить. Кроме Приора и Хитакири.
Definitely the Black
Ведьмак.
Prior. Yeah, with that Grim Reaper look.
О, смотри, какая Джаньху.
And this, of course, is the Wulin.
Yeah, for me it's these guys. They didn't have it. Well, I guess the Harbingers.
Я вон горца вижу, ну че у него за морда убогая, блин, ну нет.
Crazy, and each one's crazier than the last.
It's nuts, and obviously you guys see, yeah, they dominated, but also
блин, ну
in the
черный
background, you
сет
guys don't see
вообще
it necessarily
крутой доспехов.
in full perspective, but these are
Ну,
we're showing you
прикольно
the new
выглядит.
ones, but obviously these are available for all of the heroes, and again you have to apply that black material.
Да, такой чисто барбер вышел, да?
But these are the
Якубович, блядь, серьезно, Якубович.
for the characters that didn't exist at the time, and we also have weapons.
Это с прошлого, короче, с прошлого Battle Pass, смотри, сделали.
Character specifically that you have always equipped a certain item for these
Used to.
rewards?
For me specifically, I do actually still have a conch rocking this. And then also on the emotes, I love hearing the voice line. I've got some of the dark armors.
Вот не надо тут про мудя, пожалуйста. Он может и обидеться.
Hit the battlefield again for this stuff.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby.
Oh my god, those armors for the Wulin.
Покажите мне сет оружия на горца.
Can't wait. Can't wait.
Ну, кстати, у Сюгоки, смотри, какой вот, офигенный, охуенный, я бы сказал, вот серьезно.
Actually, I do. I mean, I kind of changed it recently because I was rocking it ever since it was released, so now it's more of a pink kind of vibe. But my PK actually still has the Apollyon battle outfit. And, I like spamming the war. I am war emo because it just sounds like her saying war, 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 war.
Рейдер. Ну смотри, ничего такое у Райдера, да?
I mean, the good news about all of
Что
this,
там у
guys, is
вождя?
that, you know, these are available for the 3 weeks, and it's just by playing the game.
Ну вот,
So
сука,
it's
могут
really
же, когда
awesome. For
хотят,
3
а?
weeks you get
Могут
these,
же,
throwback
детка.
items.
Смотри, какой классный, и
you know,
щит прикольный, и цвета
we're
вообще
talking about
четкие.
a brand new chapter in For Honor, something that's going to evolve in Year 4 Season 2. We're starting off in a bright point, but there's something
Ну,
that's
что-то
a little
маловато
bit
они
weird
показали,
that's
на
going
самом
on. Before we let you go, again, thank you so much for joining us. Do you guys have any last words and maybe hype words for Year 4 Season 2 of Tyranny? Stefan, why don't you start us off?
I mean, for me, the whole group, the whole dev team is super excited. Top to bottom, Tester Metal was a fan favorite.
Да, как они смешно головой мотают, вообще
A number
просто.
of good patch notes and so on. And we're just getting started in season 14 here. Current prediction is best season of For Honor.
Wow. Wow,
Above
that's a
season 5.
major bar. That's a major bar. And Alex, for yourself?
Quote this.
Yeah, let's do it.
Well, like Stefan mentioned, the team worked so hard on this, and honestly, we just can't wait to hear some of the feedback.
Yeah, and this journey is just not over yet. Again, guys, thank you so much for taking the time today. You know, it's gonna be a hell of a ride. I think we all said that and teased it all throughout the stream. So let's say bye to Stefan and Alex. Thank you again, guys. At that point, this is the end of the show, guys. Clarissa, did you have fun?
I had a blast. I mean, you know, it's not the same when we're not right next to each other or anything like that. But you know, it's still Warriors Den regardless. And my favorite part about Warriors Den, especially with the season reveals, is just unpacking all the stuff that we can talk about, and then also teasing about what
metal.
Exactly. And that being said, I want to make a huge shout out to all of the people that are involved in making this happen. Not only the season, again, this is a huge shout out to the For Honor dev team that's been working from home. Obviously, you guys, the players that have been waiting, this season was delayed for 6 weeks. A lot of work went into making sure that everything that we talked about today and didn't talk about today makes it into this season. I want to shout out everybody that made this live stream happen. That includes Andre, Claudio, Seb, Mathilde, Max, all of you guys. A huge thank you because it made it seamless. Even though we're from home, it feels like we did our best to make it like we're not. So again, so much more to come. We want to thank you guys for stopping by today and hanging out with us. I know there's a lot of content that we covered. You guys can go back, watch it, dream about it. I know that's what I'm doing. So that being said, huge thank you to yourself, Clarissa, for doing this with me. It's always a pleasure. And
well, I mean, we have to take a huge thanks to you because you really set the energy for Warriors Den. Everyone's always pumped up. You stress out a lot too. I mean, that's part of it. But it doesn't really show. You're really
I thank
you're really
you.
awesome. So
thank you very much, Clarissa. But again, the content this season, I know, it's not hard. It's not hard for me to get hyped. Okay, yeah. Centurion has a face. Come on. Did anybody expect that shit? No, they didn't. That being said, we've got a video that we're gonna pass by for executions. Isn't that right, Clarissa?
Yeah, so if you saw between these transitions, we had executions. Yes, new executions are coming to For Honor. When? Right now. June 4th. Not next week when the season launches, but you can now get those executions in-game.
Year 4, Season 2, Tyranny starts next week, June 11th, guys. Thank you again. It's gonna be a doozy, baby. Let's get it. Ciao, guys.
Ну да, добивание уже в игре. Это в записи стрим. Отвратительно у рыцаря вот это добивание. Просто отвратительно. На отдельных пойдет, типа Приора, там, того же Вордена. Вот у викингов самое классное с самураями. Вот Хитакири вот это не идет. Но само добивание классное. Тигрище пишет. Ну чё, давайте тогда будем закругляться, да, наверное, с этим стримом. Лучше пойдем покурим, попьем чайку. Или будем дальше смотреть? Ну все, thanks for watching. Я просто думал, может они еще продолжать будут. И что, мне начислит, интересно, что-нибудь? 5 кредитов. 5 кредитов. 3 кредита. Ну, такое себе. Ну все, короче, тогда этот стрим заканчиваем. Давайте сейчас пойдем там перекурим, попьем чайку и поиграем в игре уже непосредственно, постримим и пообщаемся. Этот стрим я завершаю. Всем спасибо, ребятки. Скоро увидимся.